Bloomington, Indiana, and we are set for rivalry week. Indiana taking on Purdue, and I can tell you this much as a former football player, rivalries start on the football field as a youngster. I remember taking on some of my best friends and having bragging rights throughout the week and the year. No different here for Indiana. They're always intimate. They're always very intense and unpredictable when it comes to rivalry games. Today will be no different. Let's get you a glimpse of a rivalry as we see my man Will right here and Jaden. We're going to give you some youngsters competing early on. Will, you ready for this route? What? Oh, the pass breakup by Jaden. I know for a fact that if that would have been me and Anish, I'd take you down. Buddy, up to you.
Ahmad, thank you very much. Remember, they're kids, so don't get on them for that. From the horseshoe curved embrace of Memorial Stadium, you're watching the Big Ten on ESPN. It is one of the oldest rivalry games in all of college football. Purdue and Indiana playing for the Old Oaken Bucket. And good afternoon from Bloomington. Ahmad's going to make his way up to the booth eventually. For Indiana, the stakes are pretty simple. Win today, and the Hoosiers are bowl eligible for a second consecutive season. The last time Indiana went bowling in back-to-back seasons, 1990 and 1991. And for Kevin Wilson, this is a familiar setting and familiar stakes. Last year, Indiana went into its regular season finale against Purdue, needing a win to go bowling. This rivalry historically has been dominated by the Boilermakers. Of late, it's been dominated by Indiana. The Hoosiers have won 3 in a row against Purdue. The last time and only time they won 4 straight from 1944 to 1947. Purdue won the toss. They will defer. Indiana will receive. And the Hoosiers fall back into their return formation. Short kick taken by Rashard Fant. And he is taken down at the 30-yard line, a return of 40 yards. And Indiana will take the field. Hoosiers come into this game 5-6. They won 3 of their first 4. The marquee win came against then number 17 Michigan State. 4 of Indiana's 6 losses were to teams ranked in the top 10 at the time of the game. And if the Hoosiers can beat their rival today, Indiana would be bowl eligible in back-to-back seasons. Again, that last happened back in 1990 and in 1991 under Bill Mallory. Richard Lago, the quarterback, second in the conference in pass yards behind Purdue's David Blau. And on first down, he hands it off to Divine Redding for a gain of 3. Redding with a milestone in sight, just 49 yards away entering the game from a second consecutive 1,000-yard season. On second down, off play action, Lago's pass over the middle, juggled and intercepted. No, incomplete. Leroy Clark almost had a takeaway for the Boilermakers, 3rd and 7 instead.
And that was just a package play, RPOs as they like to call them, run pass options. That time, Lago had an open man, just couldn't get on target.
On 3rd down, Lago back to the air. That is picked off. Marcus Bailey with a straight line to the end zone, and he's knocked out of bounds just shy of the goal line by the quarterback, Lago.
And Niche, they went back to the well, trying to get some in-breaking routes. This time, the Purdue defense was not going to have a missed opportunity. Fine job of the linebacker getting right underneath and just sliding right into that passing window. Lago didn't even see him, and now you see Purdue Boilermakers coming onto the football field with a prime opportunity inside of the 1 to score a touchdown. Those are the types of plays in rivalry games that get the momentum on your side and allow you to get an early lead.
1st and goal on Purdue's first offensive play. David Blau, the quarterback. Markel Jones in the backfield. Jones gets the call. Fighting forward. No signal yet, and now it's a touchdown for the Boilermakers.
You know, the only good thing that came from that, Anish, is that they scored quickly. And if you're this Indiana Hoosier offense, you get back out on the field to try to right your wrong. And if you're Lego, they went back to it twice. You cannot throw that type of costly interception in a rivalry game. Sometimes it's hard to make up for those types of mistakes.
PAT is good, and Purdue strikes first. Sudden change. Freshman Marcus Bailey with his third interception of the season. He brought it all the way down to the 1-yard line, and then Markel Jones punching it in, his fourth rushing TD of 2016. Early fireworks here in Bloomington. Purdue leading Indiana 7-0. An interception by Marcus Bailey led to a 1-yard touchdown run by Markel Jones. All that happening in the first minute of this game. Ricky Brookins from the 20 stumbles ahead and knocked out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Second offensive possession for Indiana. The first ended with an interception. 14th pick of the season for Richard Lego. And Ahmad, coaches told us yesterday of his interceptions, about half are on the quarterback, the other half on the play calling and the wide receivers. But as prolific as he's been in terms of total yardage, those turnovers have been a problem.
Yeah, you're right, Anish. And one of a quarterback's chief responsibility is to protect the football, manage the game. And there have been times where, as you said, drop balls that led to interceptions. There have been mental mistakes and errors that he's also made. Hopefully he doesn't make any of those the rest of the game.
They'll give it to Divine Redding, who finds a hole with the second effort. Redding into Purdue territory. Finally pushed out by Bailey, a gain of 27. A season ago, Redding ran for 144 yards against Purdue. And the coaches told us for Indiana that when Richard Lego plays well, he has the benefit of a running game. There's Redding again. And boy, if Purdue can't stop the run, it's going to be a long game. It's been a long 6 weeks because this Boilermaker defense, Ahmad, has not been able to stop the run at all.
Yeah, I think that's where you go. If you're Indiana, keep feeding Redding. He's working right now.
Redding again picks up the first down for Indiana.
And you know what I like about Redding when watching him on film, and we talked about this, Anish, is when he gets his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, and with this spread offense, it really thins out the box, which forces safeties and linebackers to make solo tackles on him. He is a nightmare. So Redding today, you saw him with the mean stiff arm on the long run, but in between the tackles is where he really makes his money.
They'll continue to feed 34 in red, and he's right back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. Redding 5 yards away from 1,000 yards. He'd be the first Indiana running back since Vaughn Dunbar in 1990 and 1991 to post back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns. And coincidentally, 90 and 91, the last time Indiana went bowling in back-to-back seasons. Off play action, Lego over the middle, Mitchell Page, touchdown, Hoosiers. Well, Ahmad, we talked about it. Richard Lego's best friend is the run game. The run game got going, and it led to this.
It did. Play action. That's what evolves off of the run game. And that time, give Lego credit for his ability to stand in the pocket, and the play action fake really sucked in the safety from the top, which allowed him to have that passing lane over the top of the safety. That was the best ball we've seen him throw all day today, and the coaches have said, this young man has the arm strength and the ability. It's can he be consistent?
PAT by Griffin Oaks is good. Richard Lego to the 5th-year senior, former walk-on, Mitchell Page. Mitchell Page caught the touchdown for Indiana, his 3rd of the season, and It's been a pretty good trio. Page, Westbrook, Ricky Jones. Remember, Simi Cobb's a returning 1,000-yard receiver out for the season. He suffered an ankle injury in week 2, but those three have been counted on to play a lot of snaps all season. And Page especially, a fifth-year former walk-on from Carmel, Indiana, actually threw a touchdown pass to the quarterback in that win against Michigan State. Brian Langford Johnson back deep for Purdue, waiting at his own goal line. A lot of coaching changes today. Obviously, Purdue is interested. We'll have a studio update after this kickoff. Langford Johnson stays put. Markel Jones on first down, cuts it back to the 39. A gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Purdue has lost 6 in a row, winless under their interim head coach, Jared Parker. Jones gets the call again, tries that right side, and picks up a Boilermaker first down, a gain of 8. They really want to get the run game going. Purdue's passing numbers, some of the best in the Big Ten, some of the best in the country. In fact, the quarterback, David Blau, leads the Big Ten in passing yards. He also leads the Big Ten in interceptions. But the run game just has not been consistent. They've been banged up back there and have really struggled to get guys going. This is Brian Langford Johnson with a nice run. Wow will hand it off, and Jones gets right back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, in talking about this conference, you've got some solid teams here. Our colleague David Pollack came on air today on Game Day and said that he felt that the Big Ten, hands down, was the best conference. And I'll be frank with you. It's very hard to argue when you look at the top of this conference, when you've got Ohio State and you've got Michigan, Wisconsin, Penn State. You know, those are some teams that I think throughout the country, you put them in any conference, they're going to be able to compete and compete for a title.
Here comes Ball blitzing off the edge. Blau directing traffic, rolling out, throws it away, and it's 3rd and 10.
And here you see the representation from the Big Ten. Ohio State at 2, Michigan at 3, and then Wisconsin and Penn State at 6 and 7. I don't know if anybody would have expected this conference to have that type of representation in the college football playoff rankings.
If Ohio State finishes with 1 loss, but it's Penn State and Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game, does the Big Ten get 2 teams into the playoffs?
It's quite possible. It really is. With the way that they've played this year, one thing for sure, you know, the other team that would probably be on the outside looking out would be Ohio State, and they're certainly deserving of it if they had 2 losses.
Posey in motion. He's been a big 3rd down target this year. Blau chased and throws it away in the direction of Posey. And again, we see Indiana on 3rd down defensively, top 10 in the nation coming into play.
Yeah, and you know, and it's on 3rd down, it's a mindset. It's knowing that you've got to get off the field, and not that you save anything for 3rd down, but you give everything you got on 3rd down, and you do exactly this. You want to make sure that you can take points off of the board, put the offense in a bad situation, and as you said, Indiana has been spectacular on 3rd downs, one of the top teams in the nation.
Chopper boots this one into the end zone.
That's those 5 yards would have helped.
That's not what you want to do. Not really that much of a change in field position, and Indiana will have it at the 20.
Look for the quick passing game here.
Play action. Lego downfield. He's got Westbrook.
Oh my, that was a beauty.
Nick Westbrook, 3rd in the conference in receiving yards with a gain of 47.
Went back to the play action pass. They went max protect, and a fantastic job of beating coverage over the top, but it was the catch and the body control to put himself in a position to come up with that grab.
Redding breaks the tackle, and he crosses the 1,000-yard mark on the season. He's now done that in back-to-back seasons, the first Hoosier to accomplish that feat since Vaughn Dunbar back in the early 90s. Redding using the stiff arm, gets free and picks up a couple more, tackled by Jake Replogle, the senior out of Ohio who really wants to win this game. His three older brothers all played for Indiana, and they have all reminded him of the recent history between these two schools.
Well, you saw the rivalry down there between Will and Jaden to open the show. This is what happens in your backyard. You know, he's the brother that wanted to go the opposite direction and do what everybody else did. And by the way, one of the top NFL prospects in this conference for sure.
Been a tough season for him. Missed 4 games with a head injury. There's a screen pass to Redding. Gets past Bailey. He is tackled at the 20-yard line. He's going to be close to a first down. Brought down by Navon Mosley. There's Jake Replogle, senior from Centerville, Ohio. That's where our colleague Kirk Herbstreit went to high school. Same high school.
You know what was interesting when you look at a player usually inside, they're not 6'5". But what he does a good job of is playing with good pad level. He uses his length to be able to press blockers off of him, shed blockers, and to get in a situation where he can make plays. Doing a very good job so far.
Diamont will keep it on the zone read. Has the edge, has a first down, and pushed out of bounds near the 10-yard line. First and goal, Indiana.
Yeah, you got to give Kevin Johns, the offensive coordinator for Indiana, credit for making the appropriate personnel change, and it looks like he's going to stay with Diamont here in the ball game. And I don't mind this because what it does for the defense really stresses him out, puts linebackers in one-on-one situations with a much more athletic player at the quarterback position. I like this call, and I like where they're headed.
Well, they've got Tyler Natee in the backfield as well. 6 foot 270.
Good luck.
And Natee straight up the middle to the 5. That is like lining up a triceratops in your backfield.
I couldn't agree more. And, you know, they say he came in at about 255, 260. He's put on some weight out of Euless, Texas, one of the top programs in the state of Texas. Euless Trinity played for a program that knows how to win. So this young man is used to playing at a high level. But the size, how big he is. If you're a defender, how do you get your arms around this guy? And better yet, try to slow him down when he gets going downhill.
He was also, if you can believe it, a quarterback in high school.
Amazing.
Diamont in the game. The direct snap to Natee. He'll keep it again. Bullying forward, reaching, and marked down at the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal. And if you've got 6 foot 270 in the backfield, just give it to him again, right?
Well, initial contact's not going to bring him down. You see guys just falling off of him like he's got off on him, you know, mosquito repellent. This guy is the real deal, and I'd go back to him here in short yardage situation. Why not?
Diamont, they'll hand it off, and it's Diamont who will keep it instead. Well, they waited a long time before making that decision, and the junior from LA marches it in, and Indiana with the lead.
Yeah, and it looked like both of them are holding in the end zone, and if you're Diamont, just follow the fullback. You know, he turns into a 270-pound fullback, and can you fault a quarterback? They're always trying to get their press clippings up. He's no different. He pulled the ball out so he could get the touchdown, but to his credit, give him a lot of credit for coming in here, being cold, and leading his team to a touchdown inside of the red area.
Now, from that last replay, it appeared he almost took the ball away from Natee, which is no small feat.
No doubt. No doubt.
Langford to Johnson. Across the 20. He's got the 30 on his feet, down the sideline, and runs out of bounds in Purdue territory. An outstanding return of 53 by the freshman. Markel Jones gets canceled back at midfield for a loss of 4. Ralph Green on the stop.
Yeah, that was a poor decision. He should have initially stayed with the momentum that he had moving forward. Now you try to bounce it out. Now you've got a negative play on your hands, which doesn't help an offense that has not been good in these long situations. And it also gives Indiana an opportunity to try to heat up the pocket and bring the pressure.
Jones has been playing through a shoulder injury for most of the season. At 100+ yards rushing in 2 of the first 3 games. Has not cracked 50 since. There's Jones out of the backfield. As the original line of scrimmage and more, and this will bring up 3rd and manageable after a gain of 9.
I think this is where Markel Jones really leaves his mark on the game. His ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. That time just a simple swing pass caught it out in front like a wide receiver and picked up some great yardage on second down, which now puts them in a third and manageable situation. In these types of situations, sometimes teams like to go with a quarterback draw or out-breaking routes with their quick passing game.
Two receivers bunch formation on each side. Over the middle, that's caught. And it works again. A first down for Purdue. Markel Jones with his third catch.
Yeah, that was just an opportunity there for Jones to get matched up on a linebacker, find some space. It looked like that was his third or fourth option. Blau went through his entire progression, came back to his check down, and it was good enough for a first down.
Final minutes of this first quarter. Blau with time, pumps, going deep for the end zone. He had Posey open, but he overthrew it.
Oh, man. That's one of those ones where you just want to beat yourself up, you know? And you can see him there. My bad. That's my fault. He's got the arm strength, and here he showed it off. You know, I've always said in those situations for quarterback, easier said than done, but give your wide receiver an opportunity. Even if you throw the ball short and it's a jump ball between him and the defensive back, give him an opportunity to make a play. And I know that if Blau had that all over again, I bet he'd go with that type of thinking.
Langford Johnson, he's got some room, and he picks up a first down. They'll mark him actually a couple of yards shy of the marker, so a gain of 8. Third and about a yard and a half to go. 10 seconds to go here in this opening quarter. Let's see if Purdue elects to call another play. Langford Johnson stays in. 2 seconds. They'll get the play off. The freshman gets the call, and he is stopped in the backfield by Marcus Oliver. 4th down for Purdue when we begin the second quarter. An exciting first 15 minutes. Marcus Oliver with an interception that set up a short touchdown run for Purdue. Indiana has come back with a couple of scoring strikes. And it's the Hoosiers with a 7-point lead after 1. You're watching the Big Ten on ESPN with Ahmad Brooks and Ish Shroff. Here at the Rock in Bloomington, Indiana. Indiana leading Purdue 14-7. The Hoosiers bowl eligible with a win, and right now Purdue facing a 4th and 3, and it's the offense that takes the field.
Critical call here, and it looks like we've got 2 backs in the ball game, which oftentimes when you have that, and they've certainly got the numbers in the box. I'm counting it up now. They've got an extra man. I wouldn't be surprised here to see him run the football.
Yancey and Weger in the backfield with the quarterback Blau. Blau's going to throw toward the numbers. He's got Marshall, and Bilal Marshall with a first down, the senior from Miami, who the coaches say is the smartest player on this football team.
Good timing, good rhythm. Watch him here. It just seems smooth. Great job there of getting the ball out of his hands, that quick release, and enough arm strength to get the ball out to an out-breaking route, some of the more difficult routes for quarterbacks to throw. Good 4th down conversion for the Boilermakers.
On the delay, here's Jones, and he hammerheads across the 15 to the 13-yard line for a gain of 7.
Yeah, Jones has this unique herky-jerky type of style of running where it almost looks like he's running harder than he should be, but, you know, tackling him is a task, especially with his larger frame, and he does a good job of running behind his pads.
Blau to the air, wants the end zone, incomplete. Broken up by who else? Rashard Fant, the FBS leader in passes defended and PBUs.
Yeah, I tell you what, Fant's the top corner and Yancey's the top wide receiver, and you know, that's the matchup that you want right here. Let's take a look at it. These two guys going at it at the bottom of your screen here. Fant 16, great job of getting to the line, the goal line, and stopping. Most defensive back coaches will tell you, stop there and allow the back line to be your defender. He did that and was able to get the pass break up and force them to this 3rd down.
Jones goes in motion. Blau looking for help. Dumps it off to his tight end, Herdman. And Cole Herdman picks up the first down. I'm not sure if that was by design or that was an improv.
Well, it was by design, but it just wasn't clean. I mean, they're trying to bring him from the backside. He comes around. They wanted to get the defense flowing outside, which it did. They picked up a nice block on T. Gray Scales, the linebacker, which opened it up.
First and goal, it's Jones up the middle. And he's bottled up after a short gain. Second and goal.
Well, this has been a fairly evenly matched game as Purdue is trying to tie the game up here to punch one in, but we're getting a rivalry game where it's been tough, physical.
Jones once more. And the ball comes out. Scooped up by Indiana into Jonathan Crawford. Oh, now they're going to say that Jones was ruled down.
They gave him
forward progress.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the fans here letting the officials have it. Let's see here. It looked like he was still trying to get this ball in. What you don't hear is the whistle.
Right.
And that's what makes it incredibly hard here. But both officials seem to be on the same page with the spot. Let's listen in and see if we can hear it. I didn't hear it, but I'm getting older, so who knows?
Wow, end zone, incomplete. He wanted Herdman, and it's fourth down and goal.
Marcus Oliver there with the coverage. Good job on the back end of that. And it looked like Blau had Markel Jones on a swing pattern on a one-on-one situation with grass, but opted to go to the back of the end zone.
J.D. Dellinger now comes on for a 23-yard field goal attempt. He's made 7 of his last 8. (14-10) after the field goal, but a missed opportunity for Purdue, a delay of game. The throw to Herdman too high, and Purdue settles for 3. Short kick. Fielded by Hale. And he takes it to the 30-yard line. Okay, Ahmad, this is your list for what Purdue should be looking at in their next head coach. Take us through it.
Well, number one, I think youth is important. And obviously when you look at P.J. Fleck and what he's been able to do at Western Michigan, he has to be one of the top candidates. Matt Rule, I put on here, played linebacker at Penn State, is familiar with the Big Ten. Mark Hudspeth from Louisiana Lafayette. I'm going to tell you what I like about him is his energy and his passion, something that I think could help this program. Rod Carey, we've seen him at Northern Illinois, a head coach who's also made a name for himself. And some of the reports out there saying that Greg Olson, former Jaguars offensive coordinator, has already been interviewed for this job, so I put him on the list as well.
Divine Redding, nothing developed, and he gets right back to the line of scrimmage. You get the sense, though, that you need someone who's going to energize this fan base.
Oh, absolutely.
We've been to West Lafayette the last couple of years. The crowds have dwindled. There's not a lot of enthusiasm. I'm not sure Greg Olson's that guy. Lego downfield, incomplete, third down. There's a lot of chatter about Les Miles. There was one report that said it could be P.J. Fleck. I saw Yahoo's Pat Forty shoot that down. Fleck apparently, is not going to entertain offers until Western Michigan season is done.
Which I think is the right way to do it if you're a hot candidate. But at the end of the day, too, I mean, make no mistake about it, he's keeping an eye on these opening jobs for sure. And, and I think Purdue is a place that if you get the right person in place that, as you said, can energize the program, despite them using that as a job to go somewhere else, regardless if that happens, what you want them to leave behind is that enthusiasm. And I think that's what Purdue should look for in their next hire.
The screen is blown up by Jawan Bentley. Named a captain as a sophomore last year. He's been banged up most of this year, but he just erased that play in the backfield.
Well, this is the third time that I can recall today where they've tried to go to the screen to get this defense charging upfield and slide that running back right behind them. And in order to make the plays on this, you've got to have linebackers who are active enough to move laterally and run down ball carriers. And I could tell you this much, watching this young man, Jawan Bentley, over the last 2 years, he is a playmaker and a guy that is certainly capable of that.
Fair catch, signaled by Bilal Marshall. This will take an Indiana bounce, and it's down at the 25, a 47-yard punt by Joseph Gideon. Intercepted. That's Crawford. Second interception of the season for Jonathan Crawford, the 6th of his career.
I want you to watch this linebacker right here, all right? Great awareness there. He actually forced him into the throw, which allowed Jonathan Crawford to be in that passing lane. So Crawford comes up with the interception. But good job there by the linebacker by squeezing the route to him.
Hey, Brookins again bounces to the outside and forced to the sideline after a gain of a couple. 2nd down and 8. We mentioned Indiana entered today last in the FBS in red zone efficiency. Backup left tackle, Delroy Baker is in. Backup tight end, Ian Thomas, now flips over to the other side. Brookins once more. He runs hard inside the 15 to the 12. 3rd down. Do you make anything of that? The 3 worst teams in red zone scoring this season, all in the Big Ten. Does that maybe speak to the quality of defenses in this conference?
Defense and perhaps conditions, is what I would say. But the irony of that, I have no idea why the Big Ten, which I feel is one of the strongest conferences this year, has teams at the bottom level of red zone scoring.
Brookins in motion, 3rd down, Lego. End zone, double coverage, and it's broken up, incomplete, 4th down. Leroy Clark, the strong safety, got his hand on it. Pass was intended for Page, who has a touchdown, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, and just too much air under this. And, if you're Indiana, you go back, and I lauded Kevin Johns, the offensive coordinator, for bringing in the backup quarterback, Xander Diamont, on the last opportunity they scored. And, you can see here Coach Wilson now, that wasn't the best and the most well-thrown ball. And it wouldn't surprise me the next time to go back to what was working with them, for them to bring Xander Diamont back out on the field during red zone, where you have a dual-threat quarterback that can really put pressure on the defense with his feet.
Field goal by Griffin Oaks is good from 29. And the Hoosiers tack on 3 more. Indiana bowl eligible with a win today. A lot of fans of Dan Feeney in these parts. A returning first-team All-American offensive lineman. Had to miss almost 4.5 games because of a concussion this year. Had to switch positions because of some injuries up front. He's now at right tackle. This kid will be playing on Sundays like one of his teammates from a season ago, Jason Spriggs, an offensive lineman with Indiana last year and a 2nd-round pick of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, and he'll have a great opportunity at the Senior Bowl. Was added to that team recently, and that is where you can really showcase your talent. And if you're trying to impress NFL scouts, that's the place to do it.
Ryan Langford Johnson takes a knee in the end zone. Purdue will come out to the 25-yard line. Wow, bounces off the defender, rolling to his right. Chased by Oliver, gets away from Oliver, and he'll scramble out of bounds at the 30 for a gain of 5.
Oh my goodness, Oliver timed the blitz to perfection. But here's the problem I have with Oliver on that tackle. Why did he not wrap up? And oftentimes in this generation of football, it used to be taught, you use those arms. You heard me earlier talking about bending those arms in a natural position where you can drive through a ball carrier. wasn't able to do it, and Blau turned it into a fantastic play.
Langford Johnson straight up the gut, tackled by Marcus Oliver. 3rd and 2. This linebacking core, a solid unit.
They're legit.
For Tom Allen, Oliver, the NCAA's active leader.
He's a man. With
11 career forced fumbles. Number 8, Tigre Scales, leads the Big Ten in tackles.
And I think part of the reason why Oliver has a nose for the football, he looks like a player that film study pays off for him. He anticipates the football well, where it's going, and then attacks.
Rushing for Blau has D'Angelo Yancey for a first down, and that is the first catch of the afternoon for the Big Ten's second leading wide receiver behind only Austin Carr of Northwestern.
Yancey with that big frame, he's the kind of guy you want to go to on 3rd down. The long arms at 6'2", 205. And he does a good job of getting in and out of routes and deceiving defenders with his body movements. And that time there, just a simple slant route, caught the ball out in front and moved the chains.
Blau to the air, to the sideline. Posey makes the catch and brought down immediately by Crawford, a gain of 7. Markel Jones, stiff arm, and tripped up in the backfield by Fant, but he's able to get enough to move the chains.
And that was a great open field tackle for the cornerback. And if you're going to be a complete cornerback, you've got to be able to cover and tackle. Open field is where you make your money. That time they're dragging down a ball carrier. Despite them still picking up the first down, he prevented them from going the distance.
Screen pass tipped, and it dropped incomplete. That was probably the wise play, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it looked like the defense had a beat on it. Niall Sykes, the defensive end for Indiana, who got the start today, was able to really recognize the play and get over there to be able to disrupt it. Sykes with a good play there, maybe good enough to earn a starting job permanently.
Incomplete, intended for the tight end, Bryson Hopkins, covered by Crawford. It's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it was just great coverage. You know, he was over the top exactly where he was supposed to be on Hopkins, which didn't allow the quarterback to have any space where you'd like to throw that corner route, the flag route as they call it, over the top. Wasn't able to do it, as now he's got a 3rd down for Purdue.
Wow, floats one downfield for Yancey, incomplete. There is a flag. He was covered by Richard Fant, who has won that matchup today in the first half.
He has, and see what they call here. Pass interference on the defense, it looks like.
Pass interference, defense, number 16, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, this one-on-one matchup down here at the bottom of your screen. Let's see where they call the foul there. Yeah, the tug there. And you saw it. Fant grabbed some of that jersey. He was in a good position, and it actually happened prior to there. But, you know, with Yancey, with that being, you know, maybe a hand length outside of his catching radius, you never know what the pull could have done. But, you know, that's one of those plays where, especially in a rivalry game, it's going to be handsy, it's going to be physical. There are probably some people at home that are wishing that the officials would just let them play in situations like that.
Spoken like a DB. Blau finds Posey. One cut. Touchdown, Purdue! Cameron Posey right triggers his way into the end zone.
Sure did. Yes, he did. And tore his ACL in 2014, but you couldn't have been able to tell it there, Posey. And this was a creative play. It looked like Blau was actually going to his right, and then he comes back, and they just really put the linebacker to Grace Scales in a tough spot. He was going the opposite direction, so it looked like he was booting out, but then they come back to where his man was at. Very creative play calling.
Dellinger for the tie. No good.
Oh, my.
Nate Hoff, number 74, blocked it for Indiana.
What a big swing there. It's Nate. Looks like he's in the middle there. Nate, nice job there of Nate Hoff. He got a little bit of push. The kid benches 500 pounds, so it's not hard for him to get some push and move people back.
And that takes us into halftime. We would have had a tie game if not for a missed Purdue PAT. The Old Oaken Bucket on the line, bowl eligibility on the line for Indiana, and it's the Hoosiers by 1. Now to the studio and to Brendan. Back here in Bloomington, you're watching the Big Ten on ESPN with Ahmad Brooks and Ish Schropp. Indiana with a 1-point lead as we get ready for the start of quarter number 3. The Hoosiers bowl eligible with a win. They're also looking to keep the Old Oaken Bucket, which Indiana has won the last 3 years. But as sometimes these rivalry games go, this one is a lot closer than we expected. Purdue's been opportunistic, a couple of interceptions, 3 if you count the one at the end of the first half. Some sloppy plays by Indiana, and the Boilermakers, despite a 6-game losing streak, they're right there.
It's a rivalry game. I said it in the open. It's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen in these types of games with this type of intensity, emotion, and, of course, it being an intimate setting.
Yeah, we wondered what would Purdue's motivation be, and this coaching staff for the Boilermakers told us the energy was high in practice all week. They're treating this as a farewell game, a farewell for the coaching staff and a farewell for the seniors, and a chance to bring the bucket back to West Lafayette. Flag goes up as the kickoff goes out of bounds. Game Track brought to you by Taco Bell. Divine Redding, 63 yards rushing in the first half. Richard Lago, 3 interceptions, just 5 of 13. Not what you want to see from someone who came in number 2 in the Big Ten in passing yards.
Yeah, that hurt, and protecting the football was one of the main objectives of this Hoosier offense, and they haven't been able to do it. Now, the third one was a give-me pick where the DB probably should have batted down before half, as you said, Anish, but the bottom line is that you're turning the football over, and in order for them to have a chance in the second half, this offense has to be cleaner with the football and be able to protect it.
After the penalty on the out-of-bounds kick, Purdue will start from the 35. It is to Markel Jones. He's had trouble finding running room. He gets close to the 40, tackled by the safety, Tony Fields. Jones just 28 carries, or 28 yards rather, on 15 carries in that first half. And, we wonder why David Blau throws so many interceptions. Look at Purdue's season. They've had trouble running the ball. The running backs have not been healthy, and they've trailed a lot. So not only are teams expecting to see the pass, Purdue's had to throw the ball.
Fair point, Anish.
On 2nd and 6, Blau to the air against the 3-man rush. He'll tuck it and run. Sidesteps across the 40 before he's taken down by the true freshman Marcelino Ball. 3rd and about 3.
Well, you saw him there. You could just tell he had a busy body back there in those happy feet moving around. And part of that is because Indiana was able to get pressure in the first half. And they did it primarily on 3rd down, where you see another 3rd down in short situation. If you're the defensive coordinator for Indiana, Coach Allen, this is an opportunity to bring a blitz, force him to get the ball out of his hand quickly. It looks like they're showing a corner blitz.
Here's the blitz. Blau finds D'Angelo Yancey, who reaches for a first down. A quick slant to the number 2 receiver in the Big Ten.
Yeah, watch the route. This is the matchup downstairs you're watching. Oh, my goodness. That was an excellent in-cutting route on one of the top corners in the Big Ten, and the best on this team, Rashad Fant.
After a first down, play action, Blau all day. Downfield, Yancey is open and incomplete, just a little too far.
Yeah, you want to talk about this matchup going on between Fant and Yancey. Watch these guys down here competing. He gets something on him. Fant, I thought, had some bad eyes, still looking back in the backfield, but the ball just outside of the reach of Yancey. both of these guys will probably be playing on Sunday, and they are battling right now out on the football field.
Yancey had a huge game last week, 6 catches, 155 yards, a couple of TDs against Wisconsin. And he's playing the best ball of his career. It's happened at a great time because Dominique Young, who was Purdue's top receiver, suffered an injury midway through the season. Yancey has upped his play since. Wow. To his right, throws on the run. That's caught by David Yancey. No relation, and David Yancey able to pick up a first down. 13 more for the Boilermakers.
Oh, this was just great pocket awareness and mobility on the part of David Blau. Good job of buying time. He moves to his right, the most comfortable side for him to throw while moving, and put the ball right on the money for a first down. And because the pressure was closing in on him, but it was his ability to move around and his mobility which allowed them to pick up the first.
Blau again with time, again going for Yancey. Touchdown, Purdue! He put that on the money, and the Boilermakers take the lead.
We have seen David Blau miss a couple times today with wide receivers wide open. This time it wasn't going to happen. Let's go back to this matchup when we get an opportunity between Fant and Yancey. This is your matchup to follow down here. And these guys are battling. This is a beautifully thrown ball. It's thrown on his outside shoulder, which allowed Yancey, who did a good job of buying the quarterback some space, as it looks like they're going for 2 here, buying the quarterback some space to be able to drop the ball over his left shoulder. Beautifully thrown ball, and maybe the best deep ball we've seen from Blau all day long.
10th touchdown reception for D'Angelo Yancey. 8 of them have been receptions of 30-plus yards.
Big play wide receiver.
Purdue will go for 2. They missed an extra point earlier, and they'll try to get that back here. Hopkins in motion. Blau rolling to his right. Under pressure. Flag is down, as is Blau. Taken down by Patrick Doherty, the junior from Aurora, Ohio.
Illegal formation. Offense, 5 players in the backfield. Penalties decline. The try is no good. Timeout.
That's got to eat away at Jared Parker, but Purdue on the touchdown from Blau to D'Angelo Yancey has taken the lead. It's a rivalry game. The Old Oaken Bucket on the line. Bowl eligibility on the line. Rivalry week in college football. Ohio State taking on Michigan at the Horseshoe. Ahmad Brooks lost his battle with his rival earlier today. That was the bow tie you brought that you didn't know how to tie.
Hey, don't give my secrets away. I tried at least 20 minutes, and it didn't work. Looks like an onside here, potentially. Or a good fake.
Indiana ready for it. Nobody back. This is Brookins, who goes back to retreat it. He does not get far. And the Hoosiers have it at the 32. Out of the 2 tight end set. And Lego pulls ahead to the 43-yard line, tackled by Hunt. And you know this well. When he played in high school at Plano, the tradition there is the quarterbacks wear jersey numbers in the 20s, so he was able to continue that childhood tradition. Little different when he went to Oklahoma State. Had to wear 16. Said he felt weird wearing one of those team numbers.
Yeah.
Came back to junior college and then at Indiana, and he was able to keep 21. That's Alex Rodriguez to the 45. A-Rod has 1 career touchdown, and fittingly, it came in the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium.
Big 3rd down here. If you're Indiana, you need a conversion here. Look for a one-on-one matchup. It appears too high safety. Look.
Corners dropping back off the line. Lego dumps it off underneath. That's a first down. Alex Rodriguez with the catch, his 4th of the season. A gain of 15.
I go back to the first down play where he was able to buy time with his feet and pick up some yardage to get them back to the original line of scrimmage. If he doesn't make that play, you're not able to convert here. So I give Lego credit for his ability on first down and to convert on 3rd.
They'll give it back to Rodriguez. Stays on his feet.
Nice. Nimble little move there.
Nimble run, a risky run, but he's to the 35 for a gain of 5.
And that was a big third down conversion for Indiana. It just a lot of things haven't been going their way. Now they're able to get into their tempo offense and really press the gas.
Diamant brought down by the ankles by Josh Hayes. Only a gain of 2, and it's another 3rd and long for Indiana.
And it looks like they're going to keep Diamant here in the ball game and see what he can do as we move into the 4th quarter.
We have played 3 quarters in Bloomington. Indiana looking to become bowl eligible, but trailing its rival by 5. D'Angelo Yancey with the go-ahead touchdown reception for the Boilermakers of Purdue. Purdue's defense had given up at least 44 points in each of its previous 4 games. Only 17 today through 3 quarters. Big 3rd down to start the 4th. 3rd and 13 for Indiana and its quarterback Richard Lego. Lego to throw underneath, caught with one hand by Redding, but he's tackled well short of the marker. It'll bring up 4th down, and the kicking unit will come on, it appears, for Indiana. Griffin Oakes has had an up-and-down season. He was the Big Ten Kicker of the Year last year, but he has missed 8 of his last 11 from beyond 30, and this is from 46. Kick is up by Oakes, and this one is good to make it a 2-point game.
They needed some points desperately.
A 9-play, 33-yard drive, and Indiana able to salvage it with a field goal. Purdue still on top, 22-20.
Oh, this time of the year, I love Anish. He's starting to shape up, and all the preseason talk means nothing now. It's about what you do in the back half of the year, and obviously November and December.
Langford to Johnson has the 20. And taken down at the 24, a 19-yard return. Blau in trouble. Incomplete, intended for Posey. He was covered by the true freshman corner, Ashawn Riggins. That's a backbreaker for a defense. You think you're getting off the field. What happened on that side of the field had nothing to do with the play. And now you got to regroup and to try to find another stop. Again, Purdue's playing with house money here. Indiana's the one looking to become bowl eligible. Blau rolls to his right. He's got Posey. Slips one tackle and then dropped at the 45. 3rd and 4 coming up.
He's shown some great lateral movement. That time they were making 2 defenders miss, and great job of running down the play from Scales. Big 3rd down here, 3rd and short situations. And your entire 3rd down package is open in a situation like this. You can run the football, get into your quick passing game, you can get into your double moves. And if you're Purdue, you've got to be precise with your play calling here to secure yourself a 1st down.
Again, the blitz. And it's caught by Marshall for a 1st down. Blau got rid of it quickly. He picked up the blitz, and Purdue moves the chains.
They call these stick routes. You know, they just tell the wide receiver, be aware where the sticks are, get to the sticks so our quarterback can throw it to you and get a 1st down. Marshall was excellent in his execution of that, making sure he got past the marker and making the catch.
From the 49 of Indiana, the give is to Markel Jones. He only gets about 1.5 yards, 2. 2nd down, a studio. Blau in trouble, the screen, and Jones was falling.
We're going to get a pit look here, and we're going to see the top of your screen. Watch him get tripped up here as he's coming out by his offensive line, Markel Jones. just gets tripped up coming out, trying to release for the screen pass, and the officials got that play right. And now 3rd and long situation.
Phillips in motion. Blau under pressure, sacked by Oliver. Fourth down.
That was just a great job of timing your blitz there out of Oliver, and he's had a fine game. You talked about his ability to make plays and tackles, but today he's really been a leader for his team on a 3rd down situation like that, getting a sack. The fans will never forget a play like that.
Page slips the initial tackle. And spun down near the 40-yard line. Indiana with the football, down to 9:40 to go in regulation. Hoosiers bowl eligible with a win. Some of the great rivalry trophies in the Big Ten. I don't think there's a conference that has better relics to pair with the rivalries. And of course, here today, Purdue and Indiana playing for the Old Oaken Bucket. Hoosiers looking to win 4 straight in this series for just the 2nd time. And it's Indiana down 2 with the football at its own 39-yard line. On first down, the handoff is to Divine Redding, and he's to the 43. Hoosiers also with a win today, bowl eligible. Purdue looking for its first win under Jared Parker, the interim head coach. Parker took over when Darrell Hazel was fired 6 games into the season. Purdue is 0-5 under Parker, and a new coaching staff will be at the helm next season. A lot of reports out there as to who the new head coach could be. Nothing confirmed. This one deep and incomplete, intended for Page. 3rd and 6. And Lego just has not been himself today. 10 out of 18. 3 interceptions. 1 was right before the half on a Hail Mary. Only 110 yards. Averaging close to 300 a game on the season. Only 110 today. And Indiana, the running game looked good early. That's been stalled as well. Credit this Purdue defense. They've played hard in this regular season finale. Lego with time on 3rd down underneath. And it's caught. Luke Timian with the catch, and it's enough for a first down. Huge 3rd down conversion.
No, I love the poise here, and we're going to watch to make sure he hauled this in. Lego, though, put it in the perfect location, low and away. Looks like he secured the catch to me. Still has possession of it when he rolls over.
Oh, they put Diamont back in along with Nate. Diamont keeps it on the zone read, gets to the outside, into Purdue territory. And reaching for the marker, will mark him out of bounds after a gain of about 7.
He's quick as a jitterbug out there. When he hits that corner, I mean, he runs like a skilled player. And we've seen him today have some success, especially moving to the left side of the line. He's been able to make some plays, especially early on in the 1st quarter when he led his team to a scoring drive.
Now it's Nate who takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Diamont, who changes direction. And picks up a first down, tackled by Replogle. Indiana moves the chains. We come up on 8 minutes to play in regulation.
That was a nasty cut. He changed directions. He stuck that foot in the ground and went the opposite direction with a sense of urgency, and that's what allowed him to cut back against the grain of the defense and move his way through to pick up the first down.
Diamont stays in along with 2 tight ends. He'll run it strong side. And thrown to the ground by Leroy Clark after a gain of 5. 2nd down.
Yeah, he's finding a good rhythm. And, you know, the one thing is we haven't seen him throw the football well. So if you're Purdue, what do? You stack the box. You may even put a spy on him considering his running ability, but that may be one of the adjustments that Purdue makes to be able to stop him right now, because he's found something, and he's found some juice, and the kid is certainly running like a player that could get them in the end zone.
Diamont will keep it again. Uses the block from Friend, and he gets a couple. 3rd down and 2 coming up. And let's see if Diamont stays in. You mentioned his throwing ability. He's not known as a thrower. He's 0 for 3 today, and he made one poor decision, which resulted in a turnover.
11 carries on the day for 71 yards. Not a bad outing at all.
Redding in the backfield. Diamont will throw. Downfield for Page. Through his hands, incomplete, but a flag. Navon Mosley, the freshman from Michigan, on the coverage.
Pass interference, defense, number 27, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that's on Navon Mosley on the coverage, and this was a nicely thrown ball, and if Mitchell Page perhaps would have sprinted a little bit longer before throwing his hands out, might have had the distance there, but despite that, they were able to pick up the pass interference call on Mosley, and this Indiana offense is now on the move and on the charge for the 2nd time today behind Xander Diamont.
And Diamont will remain in the game. He'll hand it off to Redding. Has a hole. Redding inside the 10. Fighting through defenders and marked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Taken out by Leroy Clark.
Yeah, and you got those long locks rolling out of the back of your helmet. Watch this. Looked like he tackled him there with his hair. But great run there from Redding. That hole opened up. Give credit to the offensive line. He didn't even get touched until he was inside of the 5. And Redding starting to roll and starting to move here, and I wouldn't be surprised to keep Diamont in the game. Go back to what's working for you. Zone read. Put the pressure on the defense by forcing them to defend both of your runners.
2 tight ends and a pistol look. The ball hits the ground. And Diamont able to cover it up.
That's the downfall.
Well,
to
we
running
talked
zone
about
read.
it. This
Clean
offense
exchange.
in the red zone, and we've seen this in the past with spread offenses. Sometimes you do see them struggle in the red zone when the area contracts and there's not as much room to operate, and that has been a problem for Indiana all season. The worst red zone offense in the country entering today.
That time there was just indecision on the part of Diamont. He didn't know if he wanted to hand the ball or keep the ball. You've got to be decisive when running the zone read or read option plays.
Here's Redding. Strong side. Redding. He is marked down at the 1. 3rd down. Wow. Bentley with a touchdown-saving tackle.
This is what rivalry games are made of. Great effort here. Gets a great block out front. Number 65, Wes Rogers. And this is close.
Redding fighting through. Touchdown, Indiana!
Looks like they'll go for 2 here, which makes sense. You've got a 4-point lead now, and you know, it doesn't really help you to remain at 4. Indiana been much better in the red zone. As you see there, the worst in the FBS, but 3 possessions today, 2 touchdowns, 1 field goal, 2 led by drives on the part of Xander Diamont. And, you know, that's what you bring him in for, is that mix-up and the ability to be able to use his feet.
So now Oaks on for a PAT, and he misses wide. It's still a 4-point game, 26-22. And Purdue will have the football back with 5 minutes to go in regulation. And in many ways, if you're the Purdue sideline, the players, the seniors especially, and the coaches, this sort of feels like the last hurrah, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And, you know, for any senior, it's a special time, a special moment. You get emotional, but you're right. The way to cap the season off, despite all the things that have surrounded this program over the last several years. Yeah, this senior class has endured a lot, and it would mean a lot to them to walk off this field today with a victory. But they'll have to put the ball in the hands of their quarterback, David Blau, and he will have to make plays in order for this to happen.
There were reports out that Purdue had concluded its coaching search. According to various reports, P.J. Fleck, Les Miles, a couple of names near the top of that coaching wish list. But no announcement has been made. But this is a chance for this team in this season to go out on a positive note. For Indiana, maybe a defensive stand away from going bowling again. Squib kick. Takes a big bounce. Scooped up by Langford Johnson. And he's tackled at the 25-yard line. Hoosiers up by 4. Purdue's offense has been held in check in this fourth quarter. And you got to believe they're going to be looking to a number 7.
Why wouldn't you? And with that type of offensive production, you need to find Yancey on the field and go to that matchup.
From the 25, Blau on the run. And he's got to throw it away. So second down coming up, and that matchup between Yancey and Richard Fant has been the game within the game this afternoon.
It has. I mean, these two guys are playing the way you would expect two true competitors to play. And keep in mind, on that last particular play, Fant had some help over the top with the safety. And if you're Coach Allen, I think that's the smart way to go. Make someone else beat you besides Yancey. Put 2 men on him, a safety over the top, and go play ball.
Blau rolls to his right once again, throws on the run, too high for Posey, and it's third down for Purdue.
Yeah, his body was drifting there as he threw the ball. And typically when you're when you're on the move and you have an opportunity to plant your feet, stick those feet in and secure the throw. That didn't happen for Blau, and the ball went exactly the way he was moving when he threw it, up and to the right. These are the times where Coach Allen does one of 2 things. He either drops guys back in coverage to clog up the lanes, or he brings the pressure.
There's the pressure. Blau off his back foot, caught by Yancey. And D'Angelo Yancey with just enough for a first down.
Wow. These dudes are battling. Just an in-breaking route. It looked like Fant overset himself and got outside. That's a problem when you're coming back in. And you see Coach Parker excited about it. Go to your playmaker when the game's on the line.
Both teams with all 3 timeouts as we come up on 4 minutes to play. On the ground, Jones running laterally and engulfed for a loss. Now Markel Jones just has not been able to get much traction. 21 carries, 33 yards.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the mindset of defensive coordinator Coach Allen, partly because when we had our conversation with him yesterday, we asked him what's the key. He said team defense. Team defense to me means that everybody is holding true to their responsibility until the ball has committed. And you've seen today, Indiana football players are running to the football relentlessly, and that starts with Coach Allen, and it's benefited them here in the second half.
Here's the blitz. Blau gets rid of it. Marshall with one hand. What a catch!
Now, that's an SC top 10 right there, no doubt about it. The timing was perfect, the concentration. Oh, wow. What a big-time football play with the game on the line. Wow.
1st and 10, Purdue coming up on 3 minutes to play. Langford Johnson gets the push from the pile. The Polar Express is what they call this Purdue offensive line, a gain of about 7. They need 6 points. They need a touchdown. Less than 3 minutes to play in regulation.
And Indiana just sent an entire wave of defenders out in their front 7, partly because this drive is getting longer. You're worried about your big boys putting their hands on their knees and getting tired. let's see if the personnel changes here play off with some guys that come out that are fresh.
There's the blitz. Wow, stands in. He's got Yancey. And a first down by D'Angelo Yancey at the 24 of Indiana.
Ooh, he zipped this thing in here. Just another in-cutting route, a simple slant, and trying to find the spacing. That time there, Fant was in off coverage. Throughout the course of the game, he's played press man, and I have a feeling they were doing that to prevent him from going deep. Great adjustment here from Purdue to get him underneath coverage rather than trying to get him over the top.
Markel Jones tackled by Fields. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Less than 2 minutes to go in regulation. Purdue has lost 6 in a row. Indiana, bowl eligible with a win. The Old Oaken Bucket on the line. David Yancey, more of a receiving back, checking into the game on 2nd and 10 for Jones. Blau looking for 6, looking for Posey, too far. As Posey goes tumbling into and out of the end zone. 3rd and 10. Obviously 4-down territory with 1:20 left.
I like that shot from Blau. They're getting one-on-one opportunities on the edges. Coach Allen is bringing the blitz. I've seen him bring the blitz 3 of the last 4 plays. He's not bashful, not scared. He's trying to get Blau to get the ball out of his hands, and that's been working. Blau there with a missed opportunity, but he's getting one-on-one matchups, so he should be able to go back to it.
Blau steps up, takes a hit from Scales. 4th down after the sack by Tigre Scales. There have been missed opportunities. It's been the story of the season, really the story of the last 4 years, but here they are with a chance to win. Maybe in a different world, they just needed a field goal. They need 6. They need to convert on 4th down.
And they need to protect their quarterback. Purdue has been sacked 13 times over the previous 3 games, 4 today, and they are 1 of 2 on 4th down, 15 of 32 on the season, which is not a bad rate. They need the conversion of the season right now.
Blau downfield, he wants Yancey, it's intercepted! Jonathan Crawford with his 2nd pick of the game, and that one could send Indiana bowling for a 2nd straight season.
They were able to get pressure on the quarterback, and you're going to see the pressure coming from this Hoosier defense. And this is what forced him to shorten his throw. A nice job there. Number 93, Ralph Green, giving to him. And then watch the back end. They were double coverage. They were in double coverage, and that's why the safety was able to roll over the top. Good game planning on the part of Allen. He knew they wanted Yancey, and they were able to cover him up with 2 guys.
How about the heady play by the redshirt junior Fant? If Crawford had any intention of running that ball out, Fant tackled him in the end zone. I don't think so, friend. You're staying right there.
Boy. Yeah, that a boy. There's a lot on the line.
Purdue still has 2 timeouts. On 1st down, the give is to Redding. Purdue trying to knock the ball out. And they'll use a timeout to stop the clock with 1:02 left. 1 first down would end the game effectively. But if Purdue can get a stop here, call a timeout, get a stop on 3rd down, they might have a chance for 1 or maybe 2 more plays. There's Redding. He's taken down shy of the 25 by Bentley. Purdue burns its final timeout. It's 3rd down for Indiana. 57 seconds left. The Hoosiers bowl eligible with a win. Keep this on the ground here on 3rd down.
I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. You run the football.
They give it to Redding. Redding to the outside, short of the 1st down. Tackled by Marcus Bailey. Indiana's going to let the clock run down. And Purdue may have about 7-8 seconds maybe to get one more play depending on what happens after the punt. You're looking at about a 10-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. Indiana has brought its offense out on the field on 4th and 3. Xander Diamant in the game.
They're going to try to draw them off sides here more than likely.
We'll call the play, and Diamant's just going to try to run and kill some time. Diamant in his own end zone. And he'll take a safety. There's still 1 second left. So give 2 more to Purdue, 26-24. That was also, I guess, on the table.
Hey.
They killed 10 seconds. They still have a 2-point lead.
Let me tell you something. For the fans at home that were thinking that is a crazy call, that's a brilliant call. And it almost worked in their favor where they milked the clock entirely. And teams work on this in practice, but nobody really has the guts to do it.
We'll call the play, and Diamant's just going to try to run and kill some time.
Wow. Yeah, this move here really bought some time. If he could have come back across the field, which wasn't possible, the game would be over at this point. But I really like the creativity there. And now you give them one play, perhaps on special teams, to try to win this ball game.
So maybe Kevin Wilson not trusting that punt unit again. They struggled the last week against Michigan. Point. Why give Purdue a chance, maybe with a short field, to even have a chance at a Hail Mary? Take the safety, you give up the 2 points, and after the free kick, that could be your ball game.
Absolutely.
We may see a lot of laterals.
You would think. And if you're Indiana, this is a squib kick.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to make sure you drive the ball into the ground and make it difficult for them to field it, but also an opportunity for your kickoff unit to get down there to field the kick.
Indiana will kick it off from the 20-yard line. 1 second left. Line drive kick. Fielded by Brian Langford Johnson. He'll try to lateral it into the arms of an Indiana Hoosier. And Indiana is bowl eligible for the 2nd straight season. And the Old Oaken Bucket stays in Bloomington.
Fun game. It was a rivalry game. Unpredictable for sure.
Ralph Green channeling his inner Moses Malone. Foe, foe, foe. That is 4 in a row for Indiana over Purdue. And that's the Hoosiers' longest win streak in this rivalry. They'll add another link to the chain on that Old Oaken Bucket. It'll have an eye. Kevin Wilson in Indiana, bowl eligible for a 2nd consecutive season. The last time that happened, none of the players on this team were even born. 1990 and 1991. A fantastic finish to a great rivalry game. The Hoosiers win it over Purdue.